Hello, hello, hello. This is Josh Morris with a panel webinar with AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments. We're talking all about marketing and expanding on Amazon. We've got some amazing sellers here today, amazing speakers. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know in the chat. So we got Sanja that says hello already. So are you guys hearing me okay? We got Audrey, we got Belle. Awesome. Welcome, guys. We've got Brian, Chris, Christian. Wow, gosh, there's a lot of you. Bran, Perry, Elizabeth. Hey guys, many of you know me if you've been on AMZ Scout. This is Rico. We've got Fernando and Tanner J. Fox. Really, really excited for this one. This is going to be a very, very powerful one. It's 11 p.m. on the dot for me, so I believe it's 7 p.m. for the people who live in normal countries. So we're just going to dive right in. First of all, I'd love to introduce myself. My name is Josh Morris, and myself and my brother Shimmy. He's not here today, but we've started an Amazon business. You've probably seen me before if you've listened to any AMZ Scout webinars. The way this is going to work today is I'm going to introduce everyone first. Then we're going to mention a little bit about AMZ Scout and Ping Pong, who have put this amazing webinar together, and then we'll dive right in with the speeches. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to introduce the speakers. We've got Rico from Two Dudes. Is it okay for me to say Two Dudes? Awesome. We got Rico. We got Fernando Cruz from Seller Trade Craft. That's going to be a really, really good one. We got Tanner J. Fox. Got various products, hundreds of successful Amazon sellers, and 100,000 plus YouTube subs. Doing amazing. We're going to have him on last. Second to last, and then myself, I'll come on last. I'm Josh from Azon University, and I'll come on last with some more content as well. The way this is going to work is we got about 20 minutes for each speaker, about 1 minute to quickly introduce yourself, and then 20 minutes of as much content as you can possibly squeeze in, and then maybe mentioning your products and where people can find more about you, more information about you if they want to go and learn from you further. And if any of you go over, if any of the speakers go over time, I'll just jump in and be like, come on guys, next speaker. I'll keep it on schedule. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the people who put this together. Okay, the first company is AMZScout. So I've worked with AMZScout for a long time. They are by far our favorite research tool for finding profitable products to sell on Amazon. And in our course, Azon University, we teach a lot about using AMZScout to find products. One of the amazing features is the niche finder button. You just click a button and they got 20 million products on file, and they just give you a new niche, and you can cycle through that until you find something really, really good. They've got accurate data broken down for you, so you can clearly see the opportunities of Amazon. You get data on competitors and keywords and Google Trends and even links to suppliers, so you can go find out more information. Really, AMZScout is a really great tool if you're selling on Amazon, regardless of even the strategy that you're using. They're a very great tool. And just for this webinar, they're doing a one-time special discount for the lifetime option of their tool, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. The other company that have come together with AMZScout is Ping Pong Payments. Now, you may not know this, but Amazon, when you send money overseas, their currency converter takes 3 to 5%. With Ping Pong Payments, the transaction fees, they start from 1.5%. Now, it may not seem like a big difference, but when you're talking about hundreds of thousands in sales, these things make a difference. So if you're selling globally, if you're selling in multiple marketplaces, they are the potential payment provider that you could use. They help you with things like VAT and sales tax, and depending on your local currency, they help you with that. They have a 3-step process, the RAD process they call it, register, approval, and disbursement, which helps you set up and register bank accounts in foreign countries, which is usually quite a complex process. They also give you a dedicated account manager to make everything so much easier for you, unlike other companies that make you ring an 800 number. And of course, the most important thing when using an online payment processor is trust. And Ping Pong Payments is backed by Fidelity Investments, and they've processed more than $8 billion in transactions. Okay, it's a massive amount of transactions. They're very trustworthy, and they are trusted by about 42,000 and growing e-commerce merchants around the world. And they've offered you, just for today, a 3-month free trial with their service. Okay, so this is really powerful. AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments have come together, brought all these amazing speakers. So without further ado, I'd love to dive in with the first speaker. It's just a very quick intro and a mention from the people who put this together. Our first speaker is going to be Rico from Two Dudes. He's going to be talking about how to expand on Amazon and other marketplaces. So Rico, are we ready to go? So let me just stick on your mic. If Alexis is in the room, we could do that. Rico, can people hear Rico? Ah, okay, there we go.
All right, so what's up, guys?
Awesome.
So my name is Rico. I'm one half of Two Dudes. Me and my partner Dan. You guys have probably seen us on YouTube. We sell in a variety of ways on Amazon. We've been selling for about 4 years now, and I literally just fell into it and drugged Dan into the whole process. So when we first started, we were just private label drop shipping, which is something that you guys generally don't hear too much about. It's a very little known way, and it can be kind of complicated, but it's one of the easiest ways to get started if you don't have a lot of capital. And then once we started selling, we transitioned from private label drop shipping to private label FBA, and then we transitioned to wholesaling, and now we do a ton of different things. But that's something that we'll get into during the presentation. But a little bit about me. I'm a software engineer actually, so I still have my day job. And I didn't quit. I love what I do. I built a very lucrative career doing it. I don't see myself quitting anytime soon unless unless you guys actually need me full time to answer all your questions and stuff like that. So I'm a huge car guy. Once you get to talk to Tanner, you guys will obviously know he's a car guy. I also co-own a speed shop. I'm a big import fan. So I have a Focus RS. We have a GTR. We have, the Evo. We used to have 2 Evos, but Dan got rid of his. And we have a Lexus RCF and all these other cars. So, I'm just a normal guy, just like you guys. So I'm not some like untouchable person that, has lived, on their parents or whatever. I worked hard just like you guys. I went to college. I was in the military before this, the Air Force specifically. And I just ended up, learning how to sell on a bunch of different markets. And Amazon was the one that stuck. Absolutely love it. Chances are I'm never going to move away from it as long as Amazon allows us to keep selling. So yeah. But so Josh, are we good? So if that's the case, I guess we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into my presentation. Let's see.
Yeah, just go right ahead. I'll try not to interrupt because it means I have to find my audio and unmute it. But yeah, go right ahead with your presentation. If your presentation screen is not showing, Alexis will help you change that, and we'll make sure we work through that. So let us know. I'll just mute myself again now.
Yeah. So Alexis, could you help me with the screen share? All right. So we are screen sharing.
Sweet. There we go.
All right, guys. So as I said, I'm Rico, and they called me the Dropshipping Terminator. Actually, that was a name that another YouTuber gave me when I was down in Nicaragua. Mark from No BS Dropshipping. He was like, "Yo, you're in great shape, and you're doing a bunch of dropshipping, and you don't ever sleep." Which he's right. I sleep maybe like 4 hours a night, and then wake up, hit the gym, and do all that good jazz. And it's really just to help you guys out. I don't get too much sleep just for that sheer fact because you guys have a ton of questions, and you guys deserve to have your questions answered. I do the majority of the product research. I've been using AMZScout pretty much since the beginning. Like, I love the tool. If you guys have checked out any of our YouTube content, you would know that I haven't used anything else besides AMZScout. I do a lot of the social media, for Two Dudes, as far as like, the Facebook, our Facebook group, our page, Instagram, stuff like that. The day-to-day running the stores, not so much. We have virtual assistants that help us out, that place our orders, that talk to our registered agent, that do all that stuff. Dan's pretty much the magic behind all that. I'm just not that guy. He runs the stores, he handles the business, he makes sure the taxes are paid, which is very important, by the way, if you guys understand anything about a business. Selling on Amazon is that. So you guys should definitely, set up a good business structure. If you guys check out the channel, we generally go into that a little bit more. So, I'm going to be talking about scaling using different methods of selling on Amazon. So you guys are probably familiar with, maybe 1 or 2 ways. You guys have probably heard about online retail arbitrage, which is against Amazon's terms of service, by the way. So you guys might want to stay clear from that if you don't know what you're doing, or if you don't have the capital. And of course, you have private label FBA, which you guys are very, very familiar with. That's something that everyone talks about. Tanner is an expert in, Fernando's an expert in, same with Josh. So you guys probably don't need me to explain that. But, if you guys are looking to scale and grow, private label FBA may not be the only thing that you guys look into because of things like capital limitations, right? So, I'm a real person just like you are. And in the beginning, I didn't have, millions and millions of dollars to throw into that. I didn't have $100,000 to just invest into a business and be like, okay, hopefully it works out. We started off with with a few $1,000. I think, our first investment was around 10. And then, we just started going from there, but if you guys don't have that kind of capital, you should be looking to expand using cheaper methods. And, the reasons why is you're going to be able to add income streams on and off Amazon if you choose to. So we're going to talk about some of those ways that you can sell on Amazon and off Amazon. So a lot of people just are concerned about selling on the Amazon platform, not realizing that they can switch over and sell for themselves on Shopify or WooCommerce or even the Facebook Marketplace. So you'll also learn how to spot better opportunities in new niches. So if you guys have been using the AMZScout tool, and you found a product in a certain niche, this is going to help you figure out what you want to sell and kind of build a niche, and then in turn help you build an Amazon storefront. You get a registered brand, you trademark your business and get an Amazon storefront, and Amazon storefronts really help drive your business up because people look at it as, this person's an authority, and if you guys have seen them, I think Zal Nutrition is a very good example. It's almost like a website within Amazon. It's professional and it gives you that appearance of, hey, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a top ranked seller. You should buy from me, and it also gives you an opportunity to scale your businesses to heights that you really couldn't have done before. So if you're just really fixated on a certain method of selling on Amazon, you'll never really know any other way. You'll constantly be trapped, in kind of this hamster wheel. And that's something that you guys don't want to do. So, if you guys are like me, you're always trying something new. You guys are always trying to increase revenue. You guys are always trying to increase your profit margins, because in some cases, your FBA products, the margins are very slim. You guys are 10 to 15% profit, and you need to find a way to bump that up. So having other selling methods are definitely the way to go. And, with the changes that Amazon makes, year over year, sometimes you become stagnant. So when we first started, we kind of just fizzled out. We're like, all right, we're going to keep selling this way, and that was it. And, that's just not the way to be. Your business is very, very important. And in order to be successful, you guys should always be trying to scale your business and grow it, so that way you don't become complacent, because a lot of sellers become complacent and then their brands ultimately die. And, we've seen it time and time again, me, Fernando, Josh, Tanner, like we've seen that happen. Sellers come in, they're really excited, and then the grind begins, and then they just kind of fall off, and that's not something that anybody should really want to do or get into business to do. So what are some of these new ways to sell on Amazon? These are some of the ways that, I mentioned before, wholesaling. So as you guys know, I have a car shop. We have a bunch of like wholesale accounts with companies like Cobb, ETS, Turn 14, Motivicity, Extreme PSI. And the reason why wholesaling works so well is because you can get name brand products at a much lower cost. So instead of going into Walmart and buying them at retail, you go directly to the manufacturer or the vendor, and you get them at a very, very cheap cost. Okay, so case in point, there are certain products we get. So like, let's say a turbo back exhaust for a Subaru STI. Let's say I can get that, for the GD chassis. If you guys are familiar with that, you car guys would know. I can get those for, from, I don't know, nameless, for a few $100s, and then turn around and sell them, for $100 to $200 profit. So that's why wholesaling is something you guys should definitely look into. But you have to have a legitimate business. You guys do have to have an LLC set up, or at minimum an EIN. And if you guys don't have that, a lot of vendors are not going to want to work with you because they don't see you as legit. But those brand names will sell like clockwork every single time because people are familiar. So you don't have to worry about doing giveaways. You don't have to worry about PPC or any of that. You guys already have seasoned listings that you can get on as a seller, and then you're going to be able to make money because people are already looking for those products. It would be the same thing as like Nike or Jordan brand if you're an authorized reseller. You guys will need a resale certificate in whatever states. That's something that we'll get into as well. Then something that we started off with is private label drop shipping, and it's essentially private label FBA, but you're having a third party fulfill that. So Amazon's terms of service allows for third party fulfillment, which a lot of people don't realize. Everyone thinks drop shipping is against terms of service, and it's not. Okay, now retail arbitrage, going to Walmart, Home Depot, Target, places like that, big box retailers, that is against terms of service and will get you shut down. But if you were selling your own brand, you were good to go. All right, so how do you do that? You guys would go to a supplier, whether you find a supplier on DHgate or Alibaba or whatever, and you work out deals with them. Now, in some cases, the supplier may not get back to you all the time, but you can drop ship those products. Okay, you'll generally be trying to add value when you do so, because sometimes the shipping times are a little bit longer, and people will wait. A lot of people are afraid that if the product's coming from China and it takes 10 business days to get to the customer, that no one's gonna care, no one's gonna wait. Our students make a ton of money doing it. We make a ton of money doing it. We still do private label drop shipping, even with our wholesaling and private label FBA, because it's really easy to test products and make money at the same time. So you're not spending any money on inventory, but you're making money when you sell. So you eventually learn what's going to sell, and then you convert those listings over to FBA, and go about, your private label FBA business, from that point. And there's also in-person retail arbitrage. Now, you can't drop ship from Walmart and Target and all those places, but you can go in and do retail arbitrage. So there'll be sales at Walmart and Target and whatever. You can go in, use the Amazon scanner tool, within the Amazon seller app for your mobile device. And once you find those products that are selling, as long as you aren't gated in those, in those categories or gated for that product, you can end up listing it, and either, you can ship it out, using services like ShipStation or something along those lines. Or if you can get really good shipping deals from like FedEx or UPS, obviously you can use those. But that is a very good way to get started if you guys don't have a ton of capital. Okay, so if you guys are trying to get into Amazon FBA, but you don't have the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 necessary to get the products that you want, retail arbitrage is a fantastic way to start. It's something that I recommend to a lot of new sellers who are kind of scared to sell on Amazon because of all the rules and regulations. You go in there, you find some products, you might spend $50 to $100, you ship them either to Amazon for FBA, or you ship them yourselves if you can get low enough shipping, and boom, you're making money. It's real simple because those products are already going to sell. So why should you be taking advantage of all this, guys? Like, why is it so, impertinent for you guys to get on something like this? And, to change up your selling methods, we're going to talk about moving off of Amazon, and building your brand outside of that. Okay, so you will be learning something new when you do this, so that way you can scale in ways that you couldn't. All right, so with me having a car shop, I can sell on our own website. So it's not just Amazon, so Amazon has a ton of natural traffic, right? And it's amazing. It helps us do a ton of revenue. The profit margins are very nice, but there's a bunch of rules and regulations. I can sell, off Amazon, and I can scale it to however, whatever my revenue will allow, or whatever my ad spend will allow, really, or whatever the exposure will allow. It also takes some of the control out of Amazon's hands. So you guys understand there's a ton of fees, there's a bunch of rules. Amazon controls the traffic, they control the audience. If they don't want to shine their light on you for those products to move, they're not going to move. All right, so a lot of people don't realize that as a new seller, Amazon is testing you. Okay, Amazon will show your listings at odd hours. So when we first started, a lot of our traction came at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. We're in PA, and we wouldn't really get too many sales during the day. And it was Amazon's algorithm, the A9 algorithm, combing through trying to figure out if this was a good product, if we were good sellers, if we could keep our metrics up. And for some people, they don't want that. They want to sell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Amazon can tie that up. If you get bad reviews, Amazon will lower your exposure. You guys always have to keep that in mind, that it's Amazon's platform and they play how they want. moving off Amazon or building your brand within Amazon, to like a registered brand status, storefront, it can make your brand twice as valuable. Okay, so I'm a parent, I have kids, and I really, really love this this baby carrier. It's made by Mission Critical. Now, Mission Critical, they sell on Amazon and they have their own presence outside of Amazon. Okay, so in essence, their brand is segregated and it's almost twice as valuable. So if Amazon goes down, it doesn't necessarily matter because they still have an avenue to sell because they have their own brand, off of Amazon, and vice versa. If their website was to go down, they can still sell on Amazon because their brand is up there. So you guys never want to just have one avenue of selling if you can avoid it. Now, it does take time to build that brand. It does take time to become a household name, but once that happens, you have the opportunity to basically, keep yourself, walled off from any negative actions that will occur on Amazon or maybe the Shopify platform if you guys choose to use that. And you have the flexibility in deciding how to market your brand because there's certain things that you can't do on Amazon. You follow their PPC structure, and there's some products that you can't sell. Like some people may want to get into like the adult, market, and Amazon says no. You guys have to, move them offline. Maybe that's something that you want to do. Maybe, you want to run a campaign, like a viral campaign, but you can't do that on Amazon because you're tied to PPC. Maybe you want to use models, bikini models or something, and run, ad campaigns with that. Or maybe, you want to run ads with cars or something along those lines. And it just gives you the flexibility to decide, what you want to do. Okay, so ultimately, Amazon has the control. All right, and as long as you play within their little guidelines, as long as you play nice with everyone in the sandbox, you're going to be just fine. Every now and then, Amazon will slap you on the wrist for something that you didn't do, and it stinks, but you just kind of have to put up with it. Having a brand outside of Amazon allows you to determine if you want to stick it out or if you want to bounce, or maybe you want to just have both. There's no reason why you can't. So what are some of the other platforms that people use? Okay, so you're going to have to do some serious work. It's not going to be fun. It's going to require a lot of time, and you're generally going to have to know something about marketing or driving traffic to a website. Okay, so as you guys know, like you probably watch YouTube, you guys have probably seen the Shopify experts, quote unquote, and you guys realize that Facebook ads and Google AdWords and all that are the way to go. Instagram influencers, stuff like that. Now, you guys can use Shopify or the WooCommerce platforms. Shopify and WooCommerce are generally the strongest because of their like app integration. There's a ton of apps that can help you get to where you need to be, get to where you want to be. As far as like, there's tools like Hurify, there's autoresponders, there's, all types of different things, timers and, auto ordering and all this stuff with Oberlo. And, it's something that you should look into if you guys are trying to move your brand off of Amazon, but it's very paid traffic heavy. Okay, you're going to be running Facebook ads, you're going to be doing all these things because even though your brand may be selling on Amazon, no one necessarily knows your brand outside of Amazon just yet. So you really do have to drive that traffic to become a household name. Now, there's ways around that, using like Instagram influencers, paying a little bit less money or growing your own Instagram accounts, which is, actually much easier than people realize. You just have to have the right strategies. We won't get into that. Usually you can check that out on the YouTube channel. eBay is another platform that you guys can use.
Can you hear me, Rico? Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. Just letting you know, we're like about 20 minutes in almost. So there are a couple of questions that have come through. So I mean, I don't know how many slides you've got.
Yeah, we got like one more, and we'll be good.
Okay, sweet. Go for a finish, and I've got a couple of questions saved for you.
All right,
Awesome,
that sounds good. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, all right, guys, you can use eBay. eBay's, kind of the wild, wild west. The margins are generally slim, so you're gonna have to sell at a higher rate. So if people see you on eBay and, end up seeing you on Amazon, and your price is lower on Amazon, they're gonna want to buy from Amazon. You might get, returns and all this stuff. So that's kind of a pain. Also, Walmart, they just opened up their e-commerce platform not too long ago, but it's still really new and there's a lot of rules because they're trying to do what Amazon did. So you guys will have to check that out. I don't sell on Walmart. Right now it's just not something that I want to get into. And I sold on eBay for a little while, but the margins just weren't there. So I decided that's not for me. I'm not getting out of bed for 6% margins. But yeah, that's it, guys. So, hopefully you enjoy the presentation. We can answer your questions. Josh, go ahead, relay them, and I'll answer them.
Hello. Yes, I don't know how you can stop sharing your screen. Perhaps Alexis can come in and help stop sharing the screen. But yeah, I do have questions. What you're saying is really, really interesting. I had a question. Is this more for new sellers? Because you mentioned testing out new products to see how they work. So is this something that can help a new seller, or it's also for someone who's advanced and wanting to expand?
It's really for both. Okay, so as a new seller, you guys don't have the capital, so you're not trying to invest a ton of money up front, and it's perfect for you guys because you don't have to put all that money up front. You're really just testing the waters, and if the product doesn't sell, doesn't matter because you didn't spend any money. For seasoned sellers like me, Tanner, Fernando, and you, it's a good way to see where you want to put your capital. So if you
Hmm,
have several $1,000s, you're like, yeah, let's see if this product sells. When it starts moving, you're like, okay, this is perfect. Let's go ahead. Let's do some crazy packaging. Boom. And now you send it in for FBA or fulfill it yourselves, depending on if you guys have like good
brilliant.
shipping options.
That makes sense. Okay, so we got a question from Shelley who said, why did you say retail arbitrage is against Amazon rules?
Okay, so online retail arbitrage is drop shipping from big box retailers like Walmart, Target, and all that. That is against Amazon's terms of service. It's right there. It says you cannot do that. In-person retail arbitrage, where you go into Walmart, purchase the product, send it in for FBA or sell it yourselves, and ship it, from your home or warehouse, that is allowed.
So drop shipping from Walmart, not
Yeah.
allowed. Going to Walmart, picking stuff up yourself, or going to a trade show, picking stuff up yourself, sending it
Yes.
off to FBA, or sending or drop shipping it yourself, that's okay.
Yes, that is okay.
Awesome. Okay, so Shelley, I hope that answers your question for you. We got a question from Brittany. She says, where would I store my product if I'm selling on my own website? Um, for example, what third parties are you referring to that she can use?
Okay, so if you're going to
And
be
Shelley
drop,
said thank
yeah, you're welcome, Show. All right,
you.
so depending on your selling method, so let's say you want to drop ship, right? Generally, your supplier will house those products and then ship them to your customer. Now, if you're in, the position like myself with an actual car shop at a physical brick and mortar, you can store those products there at your shop if you want to. You don't necessarily have to. With drop shipping, you're not really storing anything. Your supplier's, doing all the legwork for you, and you're just placing the order when you get it, and then they're shipping it out for you. So it saves you space and time.
Awesome. Okay, Sammy asks, are you creating sites using something like Wix, or are you using something like Shopify with templates that they give you?
All right, so the shop was actually built on Magento. This is a very ridiculous platform.
Magento is more advanced.
Yeah, so like we should probably transition over at some point to like a much easier platform because
Yeah,
it does.
Magento is a nightmare.
Yeah, but you can do Shopify, use WooCommerce if you guys, so choose. It's actually very, very simple. We don't necessarily recommend like Wix and stuff like that because, they're website builders, but they're not necessarily meant for e-commerce specifically. They do have an e-commerce section, but I found that Shopify is a much better platform because they are just e-commerce focused. So
Okay,
they have a
awesome.
lot of tools that'll help.
Okay, brilliant. We've got a few more questions, but we've got so many questions actually that we won't be able to get through them all. But what I'm doing is I'm writing down questions and saving them to the end. So Sean, Vaughn, if we miss anything, I apologize, but we'll try and stay at the end for questions. So one quick question: can you drop ship from a supplier to Amazon?
All right, so are they asking to like drop ship to an Amazon warehouse or to the customer on Amazon?
I'm
Because
not
it
100% sure. I'm thinking
I'm
to an
thinking
Amazon
from
customer,
supplier
I
to the,
think.
yes. So if you're using third party fulfillment, if you're your supplier, you have a supplier, not Walmart, you have an actual supplier,
An
you're
actual
doing
supplier
what's
then.
called third party. Yeah, you're selling your
Okay,
product and they can drop ship it for you. Okay. There are certain
brilliant.
things that you have to, you have to be the seller of record. You can't have, material from the supplier and stuff like that. You have to own that product and accept all returns and there's other things, but it's really not all that bad. But yes, you can.
Right. And Sean says yes to the Amazon warehouse. So you would never drop ship to the Amazon warehouse. That
No, that
those
would be
two strategies are two separate strategies.
yeah,
Am I
like
right?
you drop ship to the customer and then you do FBA to the FBA warehouse.
Okay, amazing. So we do have a few more questions, but we will save it to the end because uh, David, some of these questions will be answered by other sellers. Sean, Vaughn as well, questions that are answered by the sellers. So we will move on, but thank you so much, Rico. If you want to stick on the chat and answer questions later,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing. Awesome. That was really interesting. I appreciate you coming on and sharing all that with us. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys.
Awesome. Our next speaker is going to be Fernando Cruz. So Fernando, if you could get your mic or webcam ready if you're there, and we'll jump right into you in a sec. I will just mention a quick thing about the wonderful people who are sponsoring this webinar. AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments have come together, a really lovely partnership, and also brought these Amazon sellers, these Amazon experts, to give advice for you. AMZScout is our favorite product research tool, and Ping Pong Payments is used for payment processing overseas and things like setting up foreign bank accounts and international payments. And they have 40,000 sellers who trust them already. So that's just a quick mention about the beautiful companies who are sponsoring this webinar today. And without further ado, we have Fernando from Seller Tradecraft, who's going to be talking about how experts find their next product to make another 10K per month. Woo! Fernando, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Actually, I think I have.
You've got your presentation. I can see it. Is everyone seeing this presentation?
Yeah. Is it on the right screen or is it on the wrong one?
I believe. Oh, I think it's on the note screen. Yeah. So you want to switch that to the main presentation screen. We can read all of your notes, Fernando.
Yeah, nice.
I like it. I took a screenshot now. Just kidding.
Yeah, great. Hold on.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to just dive right in, I'm going to mute myself and you can just go right ahead.
Wait,
Cool.
sorry. How do I switch it? Do you know?
So where you select sharing your screen, you would pick the right screen to share. I believe it would be.
Is it on now?
You've got.
Or is it still on the notes one?
Yeah, it's still on the notes one. How many screens do you have
Oh,
open? You have two. Do you have two
Yeah.
desktops? Got it. There it is. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm going to mute myself and I'll hide my camera. And Fernando, dive right in, blow us away. I'm so excited, and I'll save questions for you as well. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks you guys for joining. And then yeah, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Fernando Cruz. I'm one of the partners in Seller Tradecraft. And yeah, well, there's a lot of you guys on here. So yeah, I'm super excited, and thank you both to AMZScout and Ping Pong for putting this together. And so yeah, I'm super excited. For those of you guys that don't know me, so I've sold over $35 million on Amazon in the last 3.5 years. As part of a team, we've launched over 350 private label products on Amazon. And then I've also spoken at a bunch of Amazon events. So everything from Amazon's headquarters to the AMPM podcast, MDS Summit, AMZ Seller Summit, Great Northern Ecom, and a bunch of different a bunch of different events within the community. So yeah, I'm super excited that I'm going to be sharing 3 secrets to product selection with you guys today. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys making the time. But yeah, I think one of the big things that I promised you guys is I'm going to give you a lot of the learning lessons that took me about 3.5 years to learn. And I'm going to give it to you guys completely for free. And I'll promise that I'll make it worth your time. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. So today in this webinar, I'm going to be showing you guys how to find profitable products to grow your Amazon business without having to quit your day job. If you want to quit, that's totally fine, but I only care that you guys are able to find profitable products so that you can make that kind of choice. And by the end of this webinar, if you guys are going to learn exactly how I do it, and if so, then this webinar has been a success. Does that sound good to you guys? Awesome. So one of the things that I get asked probably the most frequently is like, okay, are you the real deal? So I wanted to show you guys one of the screenshots just to make sure that you guys know that I'm legit. This is one of our accounts. You can see the date was actually just from a few days ago, March 21st. In the last 30 days at that point, we've done about a little over 1.8 million in revenue, over 100,000 units sold. And this is just one of our accounts, just so you guys know. We also sell in Canada and on other accounts as well, but that's not included here. So the three secrets. So these are super, super important. If you can, like, write them down. But yeah, I really want to make sure that you guys are learning. And so I'm going to cover these all in depth for you guys. So secret number one is that I can make more profit selling niche private label items than I can going after really competitive categories like supplements or cell phone accessories. That one, makes sense. Secret number two is that using the monopoly method, I can dominate a niche and multiply my profit. And then secret number three is that I don't have to quit my day job in order to change my life. And so this is all about you guys and how we can help you guys become more successful. And yeah, again, part-time, I know it's the big thing. A lot of people want to do this on the side. They're really happy with their job. And then I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. So secret number one, like I mentioned, is that I can make more profit selling these niche private label items than I can going after really competitive categories. And let me show you why. So one of the big things that we all know is that Amazon is a massive marketplace with tons of sellers and buyers. And the key is really remembering that. When people think about what to sell, one of the big things that they do is that everyone recommends is going around their home looking for items that are kind of in their normal everyday life. And that usually leads to the same things, kind of home and kitchen stuff, cell phone accessories, maybe supplements or vitamins that you take. And those are all the everyday items. And honestly, that's what everyone else is doing. And so what we want to do is we want to do the complete opposite of that. We want to think about what everyone else is doing, and you want to do something totally different. You want to be contrarian, because if you think really differently than everyone else, you're going to win this game. And so here's one of the examples that I wanted to show you guys. This is a product that really fits a lot of the criteria that other gurus are teaching in terms of product selection. They say that the product is lightweight, that if it's in a shoebox, that it's not breakable, all that kind of stuff. And the challenge is that everyone's using those same kind of criteria. And if you guys haven't seen this product, or if it doesn't look familiar, these are silicone barbecue grill gloves. And they're often showed in these like webinars of like, oh, these are winning products. They're doing 50K or 100K a month. But the challenge with these products is these competitors have hundreds, if not thousands, of reviews. Like Amazon Basics is actually coming in here as well and making it even more competitive. And they're selling it at $3.26, which is crazy. But the problem with this product is that it's a commodity. There's thousands of other people doing exactly the same products, or there's like, a few thousand more substitutes that are really similar, like oven mitts, pot holders, like all these things that can be used in instead of these silicone barbecue gloves. And so this one actually hurts me a little bit personally, because funny enough, this is actually one of the first products that we launched in our business 3.5 years ago. And we made the same mistake. We're listening to somebody that didn't really know what they're talking about. We're using the wrong criteria. And I mean, we were lucky enough to eventually sell through the inventory at a loss, but we actually, got through it and we never reordered. But so a lot of other gurus kind of teach like the importance of a lot of giveaways. And it's honestly a really terrible approach. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. So there's 3 reasons why massive giveaways are terrible advice. So number 1 is that you're basically gambling, because if you don't land at the top of page 1, you just spent a ton of money to get there with not very much results. Number 2 is that it requires a ton of inventory to be able to do that kind of giveaway. And then number 3 is that on top of that, you're gonna lose a ton of money on that giveaway. And so one of my buddies, who's another Amazon seller, and I were talking about that. And, it's just like a shame that a lot of new sellers will go after these really crazy, difficult categories like the silicone barbecue gloves right from the beginning. And I remember really vividly, because he made the best example. It's as if you had never skied before, and then on your first run, deciding to go after a black diamond. It just doesn't make sense. And so I hope that we all can agree that it's not a good idea. And are you guys following me? Awesome. So wouldn't it be easier to be dealing with, a lot, wouldn't it be easier to be dealing with a lot less competition? Now that, we kind of illustrate that example, it's pretty obvious. And so you'd rather launch a product that has less competition because you're going to have a way higher success rate. You're going to spend way less money on giveaways, and then you're going to become profitable faster. It's just way, way easier. So do you guys want to see an example of a profitable product? If you do, give me a 1 in the chat. I'd love to see that you guys are engaged and kind of following along. But yeah, I'm going to show you
Yeah,
a
we
really
got lots of answers when you're asking yes, yes, yes from Elizabeth,
awesome.
Sierra, Robert, Edwin, everyone's saying yes, so you're good to go. Awesome.
Nice. Perfect. So the screen printing frame. So this is actually one of like my favorite products, and I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing this with you guys because I promised, and I would totally be doing this one myself, honestly. But there's probably hundreds of you guys listening, so it's probably not a good idea. But the screen printing frame. So why do I like this product? There's 3 major reasons that I really like about this product. And so this product guaranteed would be a success if you know how to launch, if you know how to create an amazing listing, and you know how to manage your PPC. But here's the reason why, is that number 1, nobody thinks to sell this product unless you're like, in the screen printing business, or maybe if you're into like, do it yourself or DIY stuff. But like, this is not something that, is commonly found around the house. It's not something that like most people have. Number 2 is that it doesn't fit in a shoebox. And because a lot of people are following that specific criteria, way less people are going to be willing to do this product. And then number 3 is that this listing is actually made in the USA. And so, truth be told, that means that I know that I can source this product from China at a fraction of the cost. And I'm going to be really, really hyper competitive because I'm going to have way better margins than my competitor because I'm bringing it in from overseas. And so pulling up like a screenshot. So I wanted to show you guys, actually, this is kind of covering the panel, so I'm going to move this. So yeah, so this is actually an AMZScout report for those that haven't seen it before. And so one of the really nice things, you can see the reviews, the estimated revenue for this category is pretty high, but especially compared to the reviews. So a lot of these listings have like 1 review, 0 reviews, 1 review, like 18 reviews, 7 reviews, but they're all doing like a pretty decent amount of revenue, which is awesome. And it's like, and actually AMZScout makes it really easy in with this RPR, which is revenue per reviews. And so you can see that a lot of these are actually over $1,000, which is crazy. So for every review, it's generating over $1,000 per month. And so yeah, you can look at the Juval listing. They just launched. It looks like they're doing about 5K a month with 4 reviews. There's another listing doing 6K a month with 1 review. Another one with 4.5K in revenue, 46 reviews. And so yeah, I'm like really trying to hammer this home, like pay attention to the reviews. So here's the first of my 6 criteria for product selection, is that you want to go after products where the average has less than 150 reviews on the first page. Obviously, the lower the better, but I'm going to repeat that one more time because it's so important. I want to really help you guys, but you're only wanting to go after products where the average has less than 150 reviews on the first page. This one has 28, or actually, sorry, 12. And that just makes it way, way easier to get ranked onto the front page. So I reached out to some manufacturers for you guys just to get some quotes on in using a lot of the sourcing templates that we use. And we were able to get the product for about $3 per unit. So conservatively, I put in 50 cents for shipping. And then you guys can see how the calculator computes the rest. So after all the Amazon fees, so we're talking about after the referral fees, after the FBA fees, after your product costs, all that kind of stuff, you're making over $9 per unit. It's actually at a 265% ROI. And so I'm going to repeat that one more time just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So that means we can invest $3.50 per unit, and you're going to make over $9. And that means if you sell somewhere else between like some of the top brands are like Speedball and Jacquard, we'd estimate that you could do about $8,500 in profit. And it's absolutely like crazy. That's one single product. But again, it's something way less competitive than going into like those silicone barbecue gloves or supplements or whatever. And so a lot of people say the riches are in the niches, and that's absolutely true on Amazon. And
just to interject, Fernando, this calculator tool, this is part of AMZScout.
oh,
Just if
yes.
it wasn't clear to people.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for thanks for that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like think about that. Like one product, $8,500 a month in profit, and like how that could totally change your life. And so yeah, I wanted to highlight that again one more time for you guys. Just like looking inside that red square. This is like generally when I'm looking for products, my eyes are really focused on this like small area of the report for the most part. A lot of the other information is really, really helpful. But I'm generally looking at the RPR, the number of reviews, and the estimated revenue. Once I kind of filter down on that, I'm going to start looking at the price and other criteria. But overall, this is kind of the main section that I'm looking at when I'm looking at the report. So next is, so how do I find these super niche items? And honestly, like a lot of people think, going to, let's say, your local arts and crafts store and then checking every item and seeing what it sells for on Amazon. But I've got a lot better tricks to share with you guys. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to go through some of the other secrets, and then I'll show you exactly how I found this product. And it's actually way easier than you guys think. So secret number 2 is how to dominate your niche and multiply your profit, again, using the monopoly method. So the monopoly method has allowed us to multiply our profits usually to 3 to 10 products at least. And it's honestly been a huge key strategy for us getting to the 1.8 million a month. So I like this image because it helps illustrate kind of the idea. So let's say you guys and I were playing Monopoly, and let's say we're betting $500 on the game just to make it interesting. So which strategy would you guys want to choose? Would you choose the left side or the right side? And just to make sure, all the arrows represent the properties that you actually own in the game. And so the left side is kind of all over the place. The properties are definitely worth more. They're more valuable properties, but they're scattered across the board. And it's way more saturated, so you can never get all 3 in a set. So you've got one product, let's say in kitchen, maybe one in supplements, one in sports and outdoors, but you generally get the idea. And then the right side is the niche strategy. So they didn't go after the most valuable properties, but they own all of the real estate on the left and the bottom sides of the board. And to the right side, let's say, for instance, going back to the screen printing frame, they did a 1-pack, a 3-pack, a 6-pack, and then maybe they did it all again with bundle with ink. So now they have like 6 listings. So the 1, 3, and 6 without ink, and then the 1, 3, and 6 with ink. And then so what happens when you search screen printing frame on Amazon, you see a ton of the listings on the front page are this specific brand. And it's definitely way harder to do in Monopoly, but it's totally possible to merchandise that way, specifically on Amazon. So give me a 1 if you guys would rather use the strategy on the right, if that makes sense to you guys. Cool. So who else thinks this way? So a lot of people, like they're like, I don't know if other people are really doing this on Amazon. Does this really work? Well, let me show you some really concrete examples of people that are really nailing this down. Kleenex. So they're not the most sophisticated Amazon sellers. These are guys, I mean, obviously, of course, they're a huge brand, but they're, not private label sellers like we are. And so this is one of the cool things about them is they've nailed the monopoly method perfectly. So if you go into Amazon, you search tissues, you're going to see a ton of different options, a ton of different variations of tissues that are merchandised often by Kleenex, and they completely dominate this category. So you want to be like Kleenex. So and again, like a ton of sellers, they really focus on having one product on the front page for the keyword. But instead, I've learned over these like 3.5 years that it's way better to be dominating the entire page. So instead of fighting for that number 1 spot, maybe it's better to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just like completely come up with all these different variations that make you the trusted resource within the tissues category. And so if you guys count out here, there's 18 top slots for tissues. Kleenex has 10 of them. Think about that. Like they own 10 out of the top 18 spots, including a lot of the top ones like 1 and 4. I think 1 and 4 for the category. And it's just completely dominated by them. And so a lot of people are going to ask, well, aren't you cannibalizing your own sales? And that's the entire point. because on a marketplace, if I don't cannibalize my own sales, somebody else will. And so I think this is one of the really big keys that I want to hammer home with you guys, is taking up as much possible real estate on Amazon is the fastest way to grow. It's pretty crazy, right? So here's a second example, another one of my favorites. So there's a brand called Anchor. These guys started on Amazon, and very much like Kleenex, but for battery packs, they just dominate the category. And so there's total 8 listings here. The first 2 are sponsored products, just so you guys know. So that leaves 6 spots for battery packs. Anchor has 4 of those. So they're taking up 2/3 of the top 6 spots. It's absolutely crazy. And so again, these guys have killed it. Like I mentioned, started on Amazon. And so you guys know, these guys are like kind of the bread and butter example of private label sellers on Amazon. They actually do over $500 million a year. It's absolutely crazy. So bringing this back to how you guys get to the next level into your business and really create the life that you guys want to, ideally live, whether it's taking more vacations, whether it's quitting your day job, whatever that might be. So going back to the screen printing frame, this one product can bring in around $8,500 in profit, which is amazing. But that's just with the one pack. So here's how the monopoly method works. So then you do the one pack with bundles. We ran the numbers. It can bring in around almost $6,400 in profit per month. And the only difference is now you're bundling with some ink. Relatively easy. You probably have to find another manufacturer, but you can send it to your existing manufacturer to bundle for you. Cool, you have another listing. That's awesome. Then you do the same thing, but instead now you're doing a 6-pack. So screen printing frame, these guys, they only got 8 reviews. The price point is really high, which is awesome. It's at $120. And your monthly profit is gonna add in like around another $4,200. So we'll round it down to 4,000, but overall, you're basically using the exact same product and helping take over more real estate, just like a monopoly, to expand your presence on Amazon. And so this is what it looks like to be winning in Monopoly. You get the 1-pack, your bundle set, your 6-pack, and you can be bringing in approximately around $19,000 in profit, depending on obviously like volume and all that stuff. But it's crazy. And let's say you even get half of that. So we're still at 9.5K in profit per month for basically one type of product. It's not like exciting. It's pretty crazy what you can do on Amazon. And honestly, this has been like the biggest reason that we've been able to scale so quickly is by taking over like specific niche categories like this and coming up with lots of different variations. Give me a 1 in the chat if this makes sense for you guys, and give me a 1, if you're excited for secret number 3.
We're getting tons of people are loving it. We got tons of questions. So is
Nice.
this we're coming up to 20 minutes now.
Yep.
So this is the last secret, and then we'll get into some questions. You could even keep some stuff secret so people can come to your products and check you out further.
Yeah.
But
No worries. Yeah.
I'll just mute myself and we can finish up.
Yep, no worries. So so secret number 3 is I don't have to quit my job in order to change my life. So it's how to find these products part-time. And so the way that you do it is you go into the Amazon search, and then you can select a category. I like industrial and scientific, and you can see that here in the top left. I chose that because I know it's a category that's not sexy, that a lot of people don't want to do. You type in a negative into the search bar, and then just a bunch of random characters. I know you guys think this is weird, but trust me, it works. So once you do this, what it's going to do is if you look at the rank over here, it's not perfect, but what it's going to do is actually list out the products in terms of search rank. And so, you can see it's kind of like it's hopping around. But basically what you can do, and again, AMZScout makes this really easy, is that you can skip to page 20 over here, or you can kind of go through, maybe skip to page 50, skip to page 40, and then you can actually start extracting all of that information. You can export it out and then start using the filters to help you determine which products you want to go after. So based on your price point, based on your number of reviews, based on the RPR that we talked about earlier, all of that kind of stuff is how we find those products. And then you can do that again in a bunch of different categories. So you can go into pets next or office products, and not the sexy categories, and then use that to help you find products that you wouldn't have found otherwise. And yeah, guys, that's it. It's really that quick. And yeah, finding products isn't honestly the difficult part. Like, as long as you know all the different tricks and kind of hacks of how to find profitable products, choosing the ones to go after is probably the hardest part. But yeah, hopefully that's really helpful for you guys. Yeah, thank you so
This
much.
is super helpful.
Yeah.
This is really, really, really cool stuff. I mean, I have a bunch of questions myself, but I think we should go for the students' questions first. So we've got a whole bunch of questions here. I'll just run through them quickly.
Yeah.
Then we'll do a quick little, let me share my webcam. We'll do a quick little YouTube video thing for AMZ Scout and Ping Pong, and then we'll move to Tanner. And then if there's time, I'll jump in with some stuff as well. So here's a couple of questions. We've got a question from David, who said, what criteria do you use in AMZ Scout to get niche products? So I believe you did answer this already, but just to quick sum up for David.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking at the reviews, definitely looking at the price point, looking at the RPR. Yeah, obviously the higher the RPR, the better, and the lower the number of reviews, the better as well. Yeah, we're usually looking at products like over at least a $15 price point, but yeah, it kind of depends on your budget and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's good. Bernardo asks, so why is the low volume of reviews so important?
The low number of reviews. Yeah, so
why is a low amount of reviews? I mean, I know it's about competition, but in your words, why is it important?
Great question. So it's about, consumer trust. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you go to Yelp and you see a pizza place with 5,000 reviews and one with 10 reviews, like, you don't know if the one with 10 reviews is like their family and friends. You don't know like if it's really reliable. Even if it has 5 stars, a lot of people are going to want to go to the place with 5,000 reviews. And actually studies have shown that, like, people believe in other people, like social proof. And so again, like on Amazon, it's the exact same thing. If there's a listing with like 1,000 reviews and you come in, maybe you get like 30 reviews, which is awesome, but like people are going to trust the one with 5,000 reviews unless their reviews are really bad. And truthfully, if their reviews are really bad, they're probably not going to get to 5,000 anyways. So yeah, that's why reviews are really important.
Okay, cool. That's very helpful. I think that answers the question. So going a little bit deeper into the review, the demand of the product, because you talk a lot about reviews, but we didn't mention much about the demand, and that's something we usually tell our students, that people have to be searching for the product. If there's no demand, then there's no point in selling a product that no one's going to buy. So do you look at demand as well later on, and how do you factor that in?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to measure demand. So like one, I guess, is using like keywords, and then the other one is revenue. And so for our team, we use revenue because like there's inherent demand if people are buying that product. So we're using revenue as the way of measuring demand versus actual like search terms and like keywords, because it's kind of harder to teach, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you focus on the revenue, the RPR, and the low reviews, and obviously there's more stuff that you teach in your program. So do you want to mention a little bit about that? How can people find out more about you if they're curious, if they're interested?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm part of the Seller Tradecraft team. We do have a training program. Yeah, and if you guys would like to work with us and learn more about how we built this company, you can reach out to me at Fernando@sellertradecraft.com. And then just reach out. You can find me on Facebook as well as Fernando Cruz. Just shoot me a message and I'll do my best to at least point you in the right direction.
Amazing. Well, I thought the screenshot you shared at the beginning blew my mind. I'm not at that level yet, so we're gonna have to have a chat. But it's incredible, absolutely amazing. I recommend check out Fernando, find out more about the secrets that he's revealing. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We got a few more questions, but obviously we've got to keep moving. If you want to stick around, Fernando, we'll have questions at the end. So if you guys haven't had your questions answered, we will do it at the end. So if we could, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. If Fernando, you could turn all of your stuff off. I'm going to change the presenter to myself, and I'm going to share one of my screens, Google Chrome, show this window. Let me know if you guys can see. What we're simply going to do before we have Tanner on, I'm really excited to have Tanner on. We're going to do this little 2-minute video. So have a sip of your drink or do whatever you want, and we'll share these videos about ping pong and AMZScout. But let me know if you can actually see the screen and that you can hear it. And if not, we'll have to do something else. But let me know that you can see everything. All right, so you guys can't hear the sound. Can you hear my voice though? Yes. Okay, so this is ping pong, and they help you with low fees, selling across overseas. This is Andrew in the cartoon. What ping pong help you do is they help you open a bank account in other countries. You can send payments around the world using extremely low fees. You can get set up in a couple of days. There's absolutely no monthly fees, and they just make it really simple for you that everything's open. And I'm just basically saying what's in the video. They help you with VAT if you're in the UK. They take it out of your payments immediately. So it's all set up and structured for you. And they, of course, they have someone helping you there with them. So you get your own personal, person to help you with your payments, getting set up, setting up things like credit lines, saving up if you want to, and sending your money out in whatever currency you want to whatever bank account you want. They basically make payments overseas to suppliers using tax and everything very easy to do, all inside of their system. And this is all done through ping pong payments. So that was a quick little thing about ping pong payments. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play this one here. Okay, this is AMZScout, and it's also a very quick little video. So with AMZScout, you can of course find the best products. They analyze any niche with a niche score. You can find new keywords really easily, and you can simply try them out. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to share my webcam. Okay, let me close all of that stuff. Let me know, can you guys see my webcam right now? I'm not sure if I'm showing. And yes, okay, so we're gonna have Tanner on. Tanner, are we ready to go?
Yep, I'm here.
Tanner is ready to go. If you don't mind, you can share your screen. Amazing. Hey Tanner, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. This is working out pretty good. There was a little audio thing with the YouTube there. But so you're going to be talking today about new tactics for marketing on Amazon. You're going to be talking about capturing emails and conversions and retargeting. So really excited for you to dive right in. So whenever you're ready, just jump on in.
Sure, let me see if I can go full screen here.
Yep, your screen is sharing. I can see you. I'm going to mute my microphone and hide my webcam so people can focus on your presentation. This is it, guys. This is Tanner J. Fox, and we'll dive right in. So, so we're looking at your the notes side of things. Yeah, now we're on the keynote. Let me see.
Let me see. Is it not slideshow?
Yeah, we can see the slideshow, but we can only see the we can see the file, the document. You could just run through it like that if you want. I mean, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. On the
All right.
fly.
Sorry about that.
Awesome.
What's up, guys? Thanks everyone for coming out and joining us on this webinar. So what I'm going to be talking about is marketing and expanding on Amazon. Now, my name is Tanner J. Fox. Some of you might know me from YouTube, or you've seen me somewhere on social media, but I've been selling on Amazon for about 4 years now. Started with $1,200 and then turned that into what I have now. Done over a couple million in sales on Amazon with decently high profit margins, anywhere from 30 to 40%. So I'm going to dive into marketing and expanding on Amazon in 2019. So the overview of this is pretty much Amazon marketing is really changing. And what I mean by that is, yes, Amazon is growing very, very quickly, but there are more sellers coming onto Amazon as well. There are tons of different products to sell, but one thing that you cannot do on Amazon that makes it a little bit difficult is capture emails. Now, yes, there might be some ways. You might be saying, oh, you can do a product insert, but those convert very, very low. So what you really need to be doing if you're trying to build an Amazon business in 2019 and market it is really start building off of Amazon, but building with Amazon. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you need to be building either a landing page or a website. Now, it can sound intimidating, but I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. So you need to be building that. So one, you can capture people's email addresses, because on Amazon, yes, you can technically email them, but their email, let's say I'm a buyer, I come and buy your product and you have a email follow-up sequence you're sending me. I could have already opted out of that based off Amazon's settings, so I'm no longer getting your emails. And those emails don't actually go to my email. Those go to my Amazon inbox. So they're very, you can barely get any opens on those when you're sending them out, and it almost feels like a waste of time. So if we're looking at what all the bigger brands are doing, you'll notice the brands that are huge on Amazon. Now, I'm not talking about like the example before of Kleenex or huge name brands like that. I'm talking about strictly online businesses, maybe not national brands like that, but there's multiple just on Amazon, and they're very big. And if you're looking at what they're doing, pretty much all of them, I'd say 99%, if not 100% of them, all have their own websites and have sales channels outside of Amazon, or at least traffic coming in from outside of Amazon. The old way of doing Amazon was kind of just sending everyone on Amazon to your product page, and that was the only way you're driving traffic. You might be doing PPC on there a little bit, but you're not really focusing outside of Amazon. You're so focused on Amazon. Now, why should you do this? If you're selling on Amazon, why even bother with Amazon if you're going to go do stuff off of Amazon? Why not just start a Shopify store? And the answer is, it can be very beneficial to still be selling on Amazon, because you can rank for more competitive products. You can get your ranks up to rank for pretty much any keyword if you drive enough traffic and get enough sales, even if it's outside. So if I were to sell a product on Amazon and use that as my fulfillment, my channel, but do everything else outside of Amazon, let's say on my own website, and when they go to buy, I just send them to Amazon, I'm now doing what I would have been doing if I was selling off of Amazon, but also ranking on Amazon by doing that, thus getting more organic traffic. So that is going to be the main marketing way I'm going to be talking about today. So let's move to the next slide. So the first thing you need to do is create a landing page. Now, if you don't know what a landing page is, it's pretty much just the page someone lands on wherever you're sending your traffic. So if you were running a Facebook ad, this would be the link they click on. If you were running a coupon code somewhere, if you had affiliates, whatever it is, you send them to a landing page. Now, this is very intimidating for a lot of people because they think, oh, I need to build a website, or I need to know how to code or do this. But there's a couple tools that make this very simple and very easy. One of them, some of you guys have probably heard of both of these. One is ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a little more expensive. It's kind of a drag and drop website builder. It's very simple. It is the more advanced tool of the two I'm talking about. The next tool is called Landing Cube. Now, this is specifically built for Amazon. They give you single web pages, and when someone clicks it, it will automatically, let's say they land on the landing page, it shows kind of your offer there and says, okay, take a 20% off code. The code's right here. They click it, and they are then sent an email with the code and a link to buy your product, which I'll go over a little bit later. But pretty much LandingCube is a lot cheaper than ClickFunnels. It's easy to use, and it's made specifically for Amazon. And the whole goal of this, again, is to start building a business that's not just Amazon, that is focused around Amazon and utilizes Amazon a ton, but it's focused on the business as a whole and building its assets out. Because one of the biggest benefits, or I'll say the biggest assets that most businesses have, is an email list. If you could go start a product and you had 50,000 people on an email list, you already know what they're interested in, it would be pretty easy to launch a product and rank it on Amazon, right? So when we're creating this landing page, like I said, probably 10 times already, it sounds intimidating. It's really not. If you're using, again, LandingCube, super easy. It's a single page. It's drag and drop. Literally all you have to do is maybe put a headline, an image of the product, maybe some benefits on the side of it, and then the coupon explaining it in the coupon code. And you have a landing page, and you can link that directly to Amazon. Now, a lot of times people have trouble tracking this as well, but I'll show you guys that in 1 second. So step one, create the landing page. You can use ClickFunnels, LandingCube, whatever you want. Those are the easiest. LandingCube's pretty cheap and very straight to the point and easy to learn. So maybe check that out for your landing pages. You can use whatever you want for this though. The next step is to email capture. So we are capturing their emails. That is our secondary goal. Obviously, first goal is to get sales, but secondary is to capture their email, because capturing emails, I already said this, is one of the most beneficial ways to, one, you can launch a new product. Two, you can promote other similar products if you have a bunch in a certain niche, and you can just continue to market them pretty much forever. Now, first thing we're doing on that page, they put their email in, they're sent the coupon code, they're opting into that page. The next thing, like I said, we send them the product so we can send them to the product directly and give them the coupon code on the page, or we can send them the coupon via email. Now, there's two benefits to both of these. So let's say you're on the opt-in page, someone opts in, and you decide to send them directly to the product page. After that, you already gave them the coupon code. Well, they might not even check their email now after they put their email in. And people get used to opening your emails. So you really want them to open that first email as well. It'll also help you with not hitting spam. But if we were to send someone to the opt-in page, have them opt in and say, check your email for the coupon. Yes, we're getting them to open the email. We're getting them used to it, which is very beneficial. But people are lazy. People don't want to spend as much time to do things. You want to make things as simple as possible. You want the least amount of clicks and effort for someone to be able to do whatever you want them to do. So in this case, we want them to use the coupon code to buy the product. So if we send it to them via email, that's another step. They have to go close our page, go to their email, open it up, copy the coupon code, go click to the link to our sales page and to the coupon code and check out. Whereas if we send them directly to the product page, they will already have the coupon and it's less steps. So for me, sending them directly to the product page converted better, but you can do either one of those. So you're probably wondering, okay, I have their email, now what? So there's tons of different email sequences and email marketing, and I'm not going to dive too deep into this because there's so many different opportunities. But what you can do with a follow-up sequence, if you don't know what to send them, obviously you have your post-purchase sequence. Most of you already have that probably set up. But you want to send them, you're trying to build a relationship with them. Even if they've already purchased, let's say we're doing a follow-up sequence and someone bought the product, or maybe they didn't buy it. Maybe we're sending them useful content for a couple emails about how to use that product, or maybe something we found useful in the niche. So maybe if I was selling a camping hammock, I would show tips for setting up a campsite, or what you need to bring if you're going camping, things around that would benefit them and have them start to trust me because I'm giving them valuable content for free. And then later on, maybe offer them something around that niche. So They can be buyers, they don't have to be buyers, but building that relationship and that trust is very important, whether it's through e-commerce or any other way. So that's step 2, the email capture. Step 3 is tracking conversions. Now this one is a little bit difficult on Amazon because if you guys know anything about pixels, it's pretty much just a way to track if someone lands on a certain web page. Pretty much all we want to do with tracking is know where did the person come from, did they buy, etc. So we know if we're running ads, if we're spending $5 per customer and our profit's $7, how do we know which people bought from our ad, which people bought organically? So there's a couple different ways to track if you are doing this landing page method, or let's just pretend we're running Facebook ads to it. There's 2 or 3 different ways you can do this. The first way is you can track your traffic to the landing page on Landing Cube or on ClickFunnels, or if you're using Google Analytics or a Facebook Pixel, you can track your traffic to that, and then you can cross-reference it with people who used whatever coupon code you put for that deal, and you can have different coupon codes if you're running different ads, and that's one way to tell who bought. So maybe I have one landing page that's different from another, or one ad that's different from another, and I send 100 people through both, and I notice 9 coupons come from one place and 1 coupon comes from the other. I'm going to stop that 1 coupon ad because I know it's not converting as well. So you can do that based off coupon codes and cross-reference it. Another thing you can do, which not a lot of people do or even know about, is you can get an affiliate link for your own products. And yes, you are allowed to do this on Amazon. At least that's my understanding of their rules and their terms of conditions. You can be an affiliate for your own products. It's very easy to become an Amazon affiliate. You can sign up in like 2 minutes, just type in Amazon affiliate, and you can get an affiliate link for your specific product. And you can use that link when you're sending people to your sales page, whether it's from the coupon code or from your landing page. When you send them to Amazon, you can use an affiliate link. So you know each time someone purchased, they went through this link, and this link was only here for this landing page or this ad. So that's another way you can track it, as well as Facebook pixels if you want to mess with trying to figure out if people's emails from when they opt in are the same, but that gets messy. For me, the coupon codes or the affiliate are the easiest way. Honestly, the coupon codes, but sometimes people don't even use the coupon code when you give it to them. They just go buy. So those are the easiest ways to track your conversions. And then you want to test and optimize. You can't go in to any of this thinking, okay, this page will work, and if it doesn't, it just doesn't work. You have to test different things, different headlines on your landing page, different images, maybe different bullet points, focus on one angle more than the other, depending on your niche. So after that, we go to step 4. Step 4 is retargeting. Now, retargeting simply is just targeting that customer again, or if someone visited your page, you're showing them your information or your product again. So there's different ways to do this. This is mainly going to be done through Facebook advertising because you can retarget through there. So we can put a pixel, which is pretty much just a tracking code for if someone lands on a certain page. So if we're running an ad and we have a pixel on our landing page, like I said, we built through Landing Cube, we know which customers landed on that page. Facebook knows that. It's a Facebook pixel. So if we do that, we can retarget those people that landed on that page and show them ads for our product. Now, retargeting ads convert a lot better than if you're just trying to get cold traffic and run ads to random people, because you know they already have some interest if they visited your landing page or even your product page. Now, another way of retargeting, which not a lot of people know about, is retargeting existing customers on Amazon. So what you can do on Facebook is you can create a custom audience by going into your Amazon account, copying, this is tedious, but there are tools to speed this up, copying people's order data, their name, their email, their address, not their email, but it's going to be the Amazon one, their address, and you can create a custom audience based around that, so you can target people who have already purchased your product. So you pull that data from Amazon, from your orders, you'd put it into an Excel sheet, and you can upload that into Facebook and create a custom audience where you can run ads to that custom audience. So that is one way if you're launching another product or if you want to target them in a specific niche. That is a very beneficial way, and again, a way where the conversions are higher than if you're just running cold traffic. Now, one of the big things not a lot of people think about, I've touched on this a little bit, is launching new products after you've built your list. So let's say I have a list of 1,000 people for a specific niche. We'll use the camping niche again. Let's say they bought my camping hammock or they opted in and didn't buy. I have 1,000 people on that list. Well, what if I want to go, let's say I have camping cookware. I'm launching that product. I'm trying to rank it on Amazon so I can get good organic sales. Well, now I have a list of 1,000 people I know are interested in the camping niche because they've opted in for a coupon for a specific product in that niche. So when I launch, I could maybe offer them a discount. There's a bunch of different ways you could do this, but I could send them an email or even retarget them with an ad to show them this new product when I'm launching it and get those sales initially and get a big spike in sales to help ranking. And if you look at any big name store on Amazon, this is exactly what they're doing a lot of times is they're launching products within the same niche. Yes, they're using their existing listings to help launch it, but they have built these email lists and they're so powerful for keeping those customers and for acquiring new ones. I mean, with it, it's a lot cheaper to get someone to buy from you again if you're running ads or emails or whatever than it is to get someone who's never spent any money with you to buy. So your existing customer base is going to be a lot better return than people who have never purchased from you or don't know your brand. So that is going to be all for marketing on Amazon in 2019. Hope you guys learned something. If you guys have any questions,
Tanner.
feel free to drop them below.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of questions for you. I just first of all, thank you. This is awesome. You got some amazing content here. I noticed that one of the things you said was that you can launch new products to the email list, and this is kind of what Fernando was saying with the monopoly method. So that's kind of a similar thing. So this helps with the monopoly method even more, right?
Yeah, definitely, because then they're seeing you everywhere, on Amazon, off of Amazon.
Right. And I've seen before that apparently it's 20 times easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to a cold customer. I've seen things like that. So this is fact. This is really, really cool.
The average number on that is normally if someone spends $1 with you, they'll spend $3 over the next year. So if someone bought a $20 product, they'll most likely spend $60 with you over the next year. So it's almost a 1 to 3 compared to if you're trying to get cold traffic and bring them in.
I like that. All right, so we got some questions. We'll fire through them and then we'll move on. So we got a question from, well, first David said he bought a lifetime membership to AMZScout. Good job. We got questions from Alejandra. He said, so at the end, instead when you talk about selling products on your website, do you send 100 products to Amazon? If you, like, let's say you get 200 products, do you send 100 to Amazon and then keep 100 separate to sell on your website?
No, so this method is going to be directly through Amazon, because the whole goal, if we're sending them outside, if we're getting traffic from outside of Amazon, my goal is to get the sales on Amazon, even when it's traffic from the outside, so I can rank on Amazon. Because it's the same thing. It looks like they did buy it on Amazon because they did, even if the traffic's coming from elsewhere. So I'm still getting the ranks up to get those organic sales on Amazon as well.
So it's still on Amazon. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Alexander says, how do you capture emails on Amazon? And shouldn't all links be directed to Amazon when messaging people?
There's a fine line on Amazon about the rules because because you captured their email outside of Amazon, you can market to them directly and send them the link. You don't have to send them messages directly on Amazon.
You're not talking about sending messages to their Amazon email. You're talking about collecting their email on a landing page.
So directly on Amazon, you can't capture their emails. You get a
Absolutely.
generated email that goes to their Amazon inbox. It's not even a real email. The
Right.
method we talked about, they're opting in with their own email, not on Amazon, on your own landing page. You capture their email, and then you send them to your Amazon page for your store or whatever product you were selling. So you already have their email.
Absolutely. So, I mean, again, to the people who are asking these questions about being on Amazon, these are more advanced methods where you're selling off of Amazon and building the brand and building an email list and monopolizing and things like that. So it's a little bit more advanced. So obviously we're just giving you overviews, but if you want to learn about setting up a page on ClickFunnels, you're going to have to go and research that a little bit. But I think the idea that you gave about getting your order list and turning that into a custom audience on Facebook, that's brilliant. I love that. I'm going to be using that. That's very, very good stuff. I like that. That's very, very cool. Okay, we've got another question. Nicole asks, what's a good way to differentiate your products from your competitors with there being so many sellers with the same products? What do you suggest?
You don't want to make them obviously the same or super similar, because then it's just based off price. It's a race to the bottom. You got to differentiate whether it's the actual product or how you angle the product. Like, let's say you and I are selling the same thing. Let's say I'm selling some supplement. You could sell hard that the supplement maybe does X, Y, and Z, or I could sell them on emotion and say it'll allow you to spend more time with your family because it gives you this result or this. So you can angle it different, but if you're talking about just physically, my favorite thing to do is bundle stuff together. So a lot of people will do this wrong, where they'll bundle something that's not even relevant enough or people don't want, and that actually will hurt your listing. So when I say bundling, let's say I was selling the camping hammock. I want something small that maybe costs me less than $2 that people buy with the product. And you can see this under the like sponsored products or frequently bought together under products. I want to add something like that. So maybe if it was a camping hammock, I'm going to add the little carabiners where they tie them to a tree, or the tree straps, something like that. And I'd angle it where it's you're buying the camping hammock and you're getting this free, not you're buying this and this.
I like that. And just to add to that, I love the concept of adding more value, having a better offer, making yourself stand out in that way by bringing them into a story and having a story around your brand. It's so important for making yourself stand out. One way I do that is by giving a free download or a free PDF. So with a camping hammock, you could give, the ultimate survival tips for campers. Something like that. It's a free download. You send it to them in an email, but it differentiates you a little bit, right? So that's another way to do it. Brittany asks, how do you bundle your items in Amazon? So more of a technical question.
So do you want me to answer stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so when bundling on Amazon, you have to send them packaged as one together. It's in Amazon's mind, it's not a bundle. It's one product. There might be 3 items under it, but it's one product. It's one box with 3 things in it. It's not 1, 2, 3, and then they put it together. So you can have a supplier do this. A lot of times suppliers have multiple products in one niche. Camping hammock example, it's something I sold way early on, and I got it from the same supplier. They bundled it together for me, packaged it as one, sent it to Amazon. So it's one product in Amazon's mind, but technically it's a bundle.
Yeah, so it's got its own UPC code, it's got its own FNSKU, it's got its own listing, everything's unique, right?
Yes, but one thing for it. Not each little item has a UPC.
Right, okay, exactly. Okay, so Ralph says the manufacturer can bundle, yeah.
Yeah, and
Thomas
if you have something, if you have something you want to bundle from 2 different suppliers, you can have one send it to the other. It's going to be a little bit more costly, but it's completely up to you. So whatever the smaller one is, you can have them send those units. Usually if you have 2 suppliers in China, it's not too expensive. Like I sent like 400 or 500 units of something for like $200.
Right. You could also have both suppliers send to an inspection service and they can package it, something like that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to really do it bootstrap, send it to your house, package it yourself.
I've done that. Don't do that. It's more expensive.
Got it. You're doing the hustle. Thomas asks, how important is packaging? What do you think, Tanner?
I don't think it's that important, to be honest. It really depends on the product. You don't even have to show your packaging on Amazon if you don't want to. I had something that was awkward shape and I couldn't make good packaging. Well, first off, I wasn't creative and I didn't know how to do any of it. So I was like, I just won't show it. It's fine. And I honestly did that for a lot of stuff. But if it's a higher end product or quality is super important, if it's something to do with kids or health or food, I do packaging and I get it designed and spend the time on it. If it's higher priced, if it's something that quality is super important, if it's something generic that's plastic or rubber or something, I wouldn't, but designing it is important. Again, it's all the story and the image of it. People aren't buying the product, they're buying what you're selling them. So if I'm telling you this product will make you lose 20 pounds, or if I'm selling you buy this item, it just depends on whatever story you're selling them.
Yeah, like I like to think of how much Apple invested in making sure that when you open an iPhone box, it comes out with that really smooth sound, like there's a little bit of air in there, and you're just like, oh, that feeling is great. Or removing the plastic from these tech items is just such a good feeling. Trust me, they've thought about that. They know they're doing that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So Nicole asks, would you recommend selling products that need FDA approval for new sellers?
If it's something you're not intimidated by and you have the money, then yeah, go ahead. It might be a longer process, but I personally wouldn't, especially as a beginner. But again, it depends on you. If you're comfortable, you're not worried about it, then yes, but it can take some time, some trial and error.
Awesome. Mia is asking for a class on bundling, so we're going to have to do something about that. Make some content about bundling. Maybe something will come out of this where we all do something together. I don't know. We got Paul who said, what would you consider a higher price product in dollar terms? What is a higher price product?
Anything $50 and higher. Because usually people have to think about it more. They'll have to consult a spouse. And it's just more of not one-click buy, which is Amazon Centaurus for.
Right. All right, so we got a few more questions, but just to keep things moving on, I'm going to do my talk, and then Tanner, if you want to stick around for questions at the end, we'll have everyone on and we'll do all the questions. But for the moment, if people want to find out more about you and learn more about what you teach and they like what you got going, where should they go?
You can go either to my YouTube, which is just Tanner J. Fox. You forget the J, you won't find me. Or you can go to my website for my course for Amazon is called 7figuremachines, plural.com.
Awesome. 7-Figure Machines or Tanner J. Fox on YouTube. You guys will be blown away. You got a great YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on. Okay,
Yeah.
that's no problem. That's no problem. I know it's already getting on. But it was really, really great to meet you here, and hopefully there'll be more of these.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you everyone for showing up. Hopefully you guys got a lot of information out of this.
Yeah, people are loving it. They're saying thank you. Awesome. Okay, so let's just move on. Tanner, if you wanna, okay, you stop sharing your screen. Just me now. And again, this whole beautiful panel webinar, I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We've put this together with AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments, who have asked me to host this. I'm just moving my screen around a little bit. Obviously, AMZScout, all the talkers in all the speakers we're talking about, using this tool to help research products. It's something that we've been doing when we search products for private label. Regardless of the type of strategy you're using, they're very, very helpful. You saw in some of the screenshots that Fernando was using. I know Rico was using this, and I know Tanner talks about this on his YouTube channel. We all use AMZScout. It's really great, and they've got a special discount just for you guys for the lifetime option today. So if you want to check that out, we'll drop some links in later. And we have a free PDF download as well that I've created talking about the future of Amazon. So that's actually what I'm going to be talking about now. So if you guys can confirm that you can hear me and everything's cool, you can see me, everything's working out, just let me know in the chat and I'll just dive right in. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, again, appreciate Ping Pong Payments who They can set up your VAT if you're in the UK. They can help you set up in foreign bank accounts. They can help with things like taking payments from other marketplaces if you're selling overseas. Anything international payment wise, they can help with. They've got a 3-month free trial just for you guys, so check them out. That's at pingpongpayments.com /AMZ, I believe is the link. We're going to send it out. We've also uploaded a PDF document into the handout section, so you should be able to see a handout. And this is actually something that I'm going to be going through right now as part of my talk, because I want to talk about the future of Amazon marketing and selling. So what I've got for you here is a PDF called The Future of Amazon and Marketing for 2019 and Beyond, also sponsored by AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments. So let me just dive right in. There are many Amazon strategies and marketing strategies that are working into 2019 and beyond that are going to completely change the game. Some of the stuff that Tanner's been talking about, Fernando, Rico, we've been talking about things that just change the game, monopolizing your products, getting outside traffic. All this stuff is really, really powerful. So I want to touch on a few of those things and maybe expand them a bit. And if you want more information, you can download the guide. Everyone who's on the webinar today can download it for free. Or if you want to, if you can't see it in the webinar, you can go to pingpongbonus.com, and there's no sign up required. That will just send you directly to the PDF download. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is omni-channel marketing. So what does that mean? Well, you want to be everywhere in 2019. You don't just want to be using Amazon PPC or focusing in on just one aspect. You want to try and be in different places. So now, I like to call that omni-channel marketing, where you are everywhere. You're on Facebook, you're advertising on Instagram, you're on YouTube. You're doing things like Tanner mentioned, where you're taking your Amazon sales, turning them into a Facebook custom audience and using that to retarget them. So you want to be doing this where you're actually on different channels and marketing your products and your brand in different places. That sort of thing moving into 2019 and beyond is going to be huge, because your competitors are not doing that. So that is something that you want to be able to do. Get on different channels, different marketing. So that's huge. And I'd love to talk about email marketing and automation. Now, Tanner already dived right into it. Again, in the PDF guide that I've sent out that you will get for free, you can read a lot more about this. I've got links to everything in there, links to Ping Pong Payments, links to AMZScout and their discounts. Everything's in the PDF if you want to check that out. So let's talk about email marketing. So Tanner touched on this. I'd love to go into a little bit more depth. There are many companies that do automated email management stuff. Companies like GetResponse, MailChimp, Aweber. These types of companies are companies where you can sign up and you can create a form, an opt-in form, and put it on any web page, on a WordPress page. You can integrate it into ClickFunnels if that's the process, if that's the company you want to use to create your landing pages. And then when people put their name and email in, as many of you done, as you did to sign up to this webinar, they get automatically added to an email list, which you can then send out mass broadcasts to. So that's what Tanner's kind of talking about, right? Sending out mass broadcasts to a list of emails. And then this relates back to what Fernando was saying, where if you launch a product in one niche, then you can launch related products or bundled package related products, like the same product with a bundle. And you can email this entire email list of all the people who signed up a big broadcast saying, go check out this product, leave us a review. And that's something that can really, really help get sales. So that's one way of automation. Now, within the email marketing platforms as well, you can create what is called autoresponders. And what that simply means is, and again, you all know this because you've been on the receiving end of it, but what all this does is when someone puts their email address in, your Aweber or GetResponse or MailChimp or whatever company you happen to be using, they have automated emails going out on day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 28, day 200 and whatever. It doesn't matter. You've set it up automatically. So when someone signs up, 3 days later, they are asked for a review. 4 days after that, they're promoted this related product, which is a bundle. 3 days after that, they're sent to another product. You see the process. It's all automated, and you don't have to broadcast emails. It's all done already automatically, right? Very, very powerful stuff. Email marketing and automation, that is huge. Again, in the PDF, I talk about this a little bit more, link out to those websites, so check that out. The next big area of marketing that I think is going on in 2019 and beyond that can really help your Amazon sales is conversational marketing. Now, this is something no one has mentioned on the call just yet, so I'm glad I'm the first one to mention it. But it's pretty much, I mean, people have started to see this. It's something that uses chatbots. So an example of this would be ManyChat, where you would answer maybe a Facebook post, or you would click send me something on Messenger on the website, and then you would get a message on Facebook that says, you know, if you want to sign up, click yes, and then you can click yes. Great, thank you for starting this conversation. How are you enjoying our product? I want to leave a review, and you can tell them to leave a review, but it's in a conversation, right? This is why they call it conversation marketing. So using a website like ManyChat, integrating that into your landing pages. So instead of just giving an email address when somebody signs up on your landing page, they can also click a button that says, send this to me on Messenger. Or you can do this directly on Facebook itself. So you can send out an ad. Let's say you're using Tanner's technique of collecting all of the sales that you've got, all of your orders, and then creating a custom audience on Facebook and then advertising to them, which is a brilliant strategy. It's absolutely incredible. What you can then do is, instead of sending them to Amazon, you can just say, type yes below if you've bought from us, if you've bought from this brand, because we have a special discount for you. So they put yes in the comment section, and then they get sent a message. This is how ManyChat works. They get sent a message on their Facebook, which has, by the way, the highest open rates of any other marketing channel that I've seen. Email has been going down for years, but you know, we get 20% open rates on our emails. But our Facebook messages get like 99% open rates. When have you ever not opened a Facebook message, right? So it's absolutely huge to be on Facebook. So you send them a message on Facebook, then you say, do you want the 15% off discount? They say yes. You say, great, here's the link. They go to the link. What you've done now is you started a conversation. This is conversation marketing. And on ManyChat, where this is all the back end of this stuff is built, you actually build a list of Facebook accounts which you can broadcast to. Just like the email marketing and the automation there, now you've got automation in chat form, right? So it's conversational marketing, very, very powerful. You can send out a broadcast to all of the people in your Facebook ManyChat list, right, who have bought from you. You know they've bought from you because they've gone through this, that, you know, you've advertised to them, only you've advertised to the people who have bought from you. So you know for a fact they bought from you. Very, very targeted people. And then you can use this as an extra way to get people to buy your other products. And this helps with what Fernando was saying, right, where you're building a monopoly of products so you can dominate the top. But now you've got people coming from Facebook, from your email lists. And again, this is starting to broaden out into the omni-channel, where you're all over the place. You're omniscient, right? You're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're getting into their email inbox. They've got slips coming in the product itself to lead them to the next product, that sort of thing. So that is conversational marketing and chatbots. I've got to watch myself for time, to be honest. But I'll mention one more thing. Again, everything else is in the PDF guide. So if you want to download that, I talk a lot more about this. The next big thing is influencer marketing and integration marketing. These are two huge elements of selling, which again, most people don't talk about with Amazon. They talk about this in, you know, collaborations on YouTube, or nobody really talks about integration marketing, but it's very, very powerful. So what is it? I'll give you a quick overview, and then we will close up with a whole bunch of questions. Because there's just not enough time to go into this. But again, download the PDF to read more about influencer marketing and integration marketing. Influencer marketing is simply partnering up with other people who have audiences of your favorite, of your ideal customers. So if you're selling a hammock, then you want to be and it's a camping hammock, then you want to be looking at camping blogs, camping YouTube channels, camping Facebook groups, and you send them a message saying, hey, I've got this hammock. I'll happily give your audience a 20% discount and a free guide if you mention it. I'll also give you an affiliate commission so you can use your affiliate link. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Influencer marketing, where you're using influencers to promote your products for you and you give them some sort of value in return. You can come and you can write a blog post for them, do a guest blog or something like that. You can give them a discount, which is hugely valuable, that sort of thing. So that's influencer marketing. I talk about it a lot more in the guide, so check that out. Integration marketing is similar to influencer marketing, only instead of just being promoted by an influencer, you are integrated into their business. So let's say there's a camping site, right? You talk to the camping site, you say that I'll give you a blog post per month if we can have a link at the bottom of your website that says go buy this hammock, right? So you now, instead of just a promotion, you integrate into their website. You can also integrate into their email marketing, right? So let's say they have an autoresponder, they have a newsletter that someone signs up to their website. Someone signs up to their website, 3 emails in, you are promoted automatically in the autoresponder. So that's another way of being integrated. It's not a one-time promotion, because everyone who signs up forever will be a part of this autoresponder, where they automatically get this email, and if you are the promotion in one of those emails, then you're now integrated into their brand. So that's just a little bit on influencer marketing and integration marketing. And again, this is some more advanced stuff. Clark asks, what's the URL for the PDF? So it's pingpongbonus.com. Simple, pingpongbonus.com. It will lead you directly to the PDF. There's no sign up. You don't have to put in your email. It just is the PDF. It redirects directly to the Amazon S3 download PDF. Okay, so that's going to be it for me. I just wanted a little bit of an overview of some advanced techniques in marketing that we're using. I'll happily open up the floor now for any questions. So if you guys are still on, Rico, Fernando, Tana, if you want to jump on with your webcams, with your mics, we could just do a free-for-all shout out sort of thing, right? And if not, I'll just answer questions as they come in. Wayne asks about Instagram influencer marketing. How can I improve the conversion? Right now, the influencer just tags me in the post instead of providing the link. Can the influencer post the Amazon link directly, or another advanced way? So yeah, there's multiple ways to do this, Wayne. I recommend having a website where you're sending out something for free and building that email list as well. So you're using a combination. You're using influencer marketing leading to a website where you're collecting emails yourself and then marketing your products from there. So just having a website is easy enough. So with Instagram, they can link to your Instagram and you've got your website right there in the bio. That's a great way to do this. Hey, Rico, how you doing?
Living the dream. To piggyback off that, you can actually do your own sort of influencer marketing. So, I used to build, and grow up Instagram accounts, viral pages, and then sell them off. So that's probably the easiest way to go about doing it is instead of paying, for an influencer, you build your own pages. So depending on what your product niche is, you build a page for that. So let's say you're selling a bunch of camping supplies, you build a camping niche Instagram page, and you run your own ads on that page. So you have a natural audience. You know the audience is good because you've built that page. You know that you have a decent engagement rate. So you just run ads, to your own page. Costs you nothing besides time, and that's about it.
I like it. Fernando, what do you think? Have you experimented with that stuff?
Marketing?
Yeah.
I think it can work well. I think it's a whole nother skill set. And so we usually tell our students to kind of really focus on very specific things. And I know Rico does like the drop shipping side, like the private label drop shipping, which is really cool. And so it's something I don't know as well, to be honest. So I can't really speak to that. But for us, I think the fastest way to grow is to launch more products. And so like, even though we have some Instagram accounts with like a good amount of followers, we don't prioritize that, to be honest. We'd rather focus on what we're really good at, and that's like choosing products, launching more products, And that's what's worked for us.
Nice.
And Fernando's right, guys. It's all about more products. We tell our students the same thing. Even if they're drop shipping, it's all about more products. And we don't necessarily recommend that they start with influencer marketing and stuff like that because PPC is just so powerful. Like there is no better traffic than Amazon. Amazon prioritizes their own traffic. So, who do you think they're going to, like who do you think they're going to show it to? Everybody else on Amazon. You don't have to do any guesswork. You don't have to find influencers and stuff. That the influencers and external traffic are really just the icing on the cake. And that's if you can pull it off. If you don't know Facebook ads, you don't really know anything about that, you're going to waste a ton of money.
Okay, awesome. We've got a question. Have you guys noticed a decrease in sales whenever you have low stock, and are your rankings affected by that? Has that happened to you guys?
It happened when we first started. So, we didn't know what we didn't know. All right. So we would, with drop shipping, like it's weird because you really don't have a stock, but you have a stock. And we didn't really pay too much attention to that. And we would notice kind of drop off as like the counter got lower. We're like, what's going on here? With our FBA stuff, like that's a definite, whether we're wholesale FBA or a private label FBA, like you never ever want to run low on stock, period. Fernando,
absolutely.
Like if you run low, Amazon's like, all right, what are these people doing? Your ranking will tank and you'll end up, losing, a lot of money in some cases.
Fernando, have you noticed this?
No, I mean, I've heard theories out there where people think that if you have more stock, then Amazon prioritizes you. So, like in theory, the reverse would be true, that you're deprioritized if you're running a load out of stock. I mean, honestly, some of the times when we run out of stock, like when we're about to run out of stock for whatever reason, our sales shoot up. It's really hard to say, to be totally honest. But yeah, we've seen it on both sides, where sometimes our sales will go up as we're running low, and then sometimes it'll go, our sales will go down too. I think it just really depends on like what's going on in the marketplace at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I think that like it would be a part of the algorithm that Amazon deploy, the A9 algorithm, that if you're running low on stock, then don't send too much traffic to them, because then we're going to have a problem of a ranked listing with no stock. So that could be a worry. But a reason you might have an increased amount of sales when you have low stock is because it shows 20 remaining, right? 20 remaining, 90 remaining. From about 20, it shows those remaining. So that acts as a huge amount of scarcity, and your sales will skyrocket in the last few sales, right? Till you're out of stock, right?
Totally.
Okay, Brian asks, how much capital do you need to get started with Amazon dropshipping, and how can we learn more about it? So I believe that's for you, Rico, because dropshipping king.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
when it comes to private label drop shipping, you really don't need that much capital. Like you could probably get away with like $300 to $400. Like it's going to be difficult to scale to like the 3,000, 4,000 in sales mark with that low of capital, but it's doable. We've had students come in with like $250 and they managed to do pretty well for themselves. They just had to keep reinvesting all their money until they were able to kind of flatline and get their sales together. But yeah, you really don't need that much. You come in with a few $100s. I mean, like some Christmas money, you can start selling and making money. If you guys want to know more about it, you can check out our YouTube channel. It's two dudes, the number 2, and then DOODZ. So
with a Z.
Yeah, with a Z.
English.
Yeah, so the number 2, DOODZ. But
what is a Z? I don't know.
Z. So we talk all about private label drop shipping, FBA. Obviously, like Fernando, if you guys are looking to do like 35 mil, you definitely want to talk to Fernando. Like drop shipping is a good way to scale. All right, it's a good way to get you started because it doesn't take a lot of capital, but it is intensive. Okay, like you will constantly be like talking to your suppliers. You'll be placing
orders
every single day. Like
it's a hustle.
It's a hustle, guys. Like if you're a set it and forget it kind of person, it's not gonna work. Even with
this is why we never.
We're still like we check credit card statements every night, like see what orders went out. We check the list. We check everything.
Amazing.
There's a lot of moving parts and things can go wrong if you're not vigilant. And that's probably why I stay up so late all the time. because we're constantly like, checking sales and everything else. But yeah, you guys can check us out on YouTube, Two Dudes, or you can check us out on Instagram. Same thing, Two Dudes Crew,
Brilliant.
Facebook. You know.
And Chandra has said, hi, Rocco, Rico, and as well as saying, I like the way you think, Fernando. So thanks, guys. Fernando, how can Chandra find out more about you as well?
Yeah. So we have a Seller Tradecraft Facebook group, YouTube channel as well, and so yeah, you can join those, and then yeah, just feel free to pop by any questions. I also have like a Facebook page with Fernando Cruz, and then you can just shoot me a message. I got a few messages after this, so
Nice.
so yeah, I'll go through those today.
So we'll take a couple more questions and then we'll close off if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because so we can finish this up and wrap it up. One quick question: do you guys have any insight for the grocery category? This question from Maria. Groceries. I would avoid it, but what do you guys think?
All right. So we had a student come in that was doing groceries and stuff like that, and she no longer does groceries and all those things.
There we go.
And it can be good and bad, right? For me, I don't want to get sued. Okay, like anything that you ingest or you could be giving to a child or something along those lines, like you have to be very, very careful. All right, and I mean, you could get a bad batch. Like let's say you get a bad batch of bananas or something. It's laced with salmonella, heaven forbid. Like that's a pretty big deal. And
That's a problem.
like for me, I just don't want to risk it. Okay, like and people make plenty of money. Like our student, she was making money selling groceries. It was fine. But when she started making more money, and then she quit her job, and she's like, okay, I'm trying to really, take this business to the next level. I'm going to open up another store. I'm like, you really need to consider, either, some type of insurance or cutting off the groceries altogether, because what happens when little Johnny gets sick from that bad batch of bananas? I'm like, as a parent, I'm going to sue you for everything that you have. I'm not going to stop coming at you until, you pay. And I'm like, that could cripple your business. If you're doing, 150, $200,000 in profit every single year, and you have somebody come in and take $100,000 of that, like that, or, cripple your business and you have to shut down, like that's huge.
That's bad. Yeah. What do you think, Fernando? Same. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with all those points. I think grocery, like on the private label side, is hard. Like there's high minimums. The margins don't really get there until you really hit scale, and the lead time, like to create a product, is pretty long. Like minimum like 6 months with like co-packers and stuff like that. It's formulations, flavoring. There's a lot of things that go into it.
So just to cut in, Maria has added that it's gourmet Italian food, and they already are established in retail. So
Okay.
if they are, that's what if you've already gone through all the FDA and all the complicated health side of things, then perhaps selling on Amazon is not the biggest of steps, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you already have
Perhaps.
like, yeah, the margins to work and like, then I do think it's a good category. I know they were having, I don't know if they still have this, but they had a promotion where you had lower referral fees for a long time, depending for grocery, as they were trying to, really compete with Walmart based on like certain like low price points. But yeah, I mean, I think it's totally fine like as a category. I think like like I was saying is you want to kind of do a contrarian approach, and so if you already have an established brand, like I do think there are advantages because just like Rico said, a lot of people don't want to go into it because of the insurance risk. So like there's a huge barriers to entry. But yeah, I think using a tool like AMZScout and like for your specific niche will show you like a lot about the demand and stuff like that.
Nice. I like that answer. Okay, we'll take one more question, and we got so many questions here, guys. If you have more questions for these guys, I know there's just questions coming in. We've still got hundreds of people on the call, but do reach out to these guys and reach out to myself as well, and we'll happily take questions outside of this. But last question for the day, we got a question from Wayne who says, Fernando, you mentioned to launch more products, and I believe we all say mention launch more products. He said for the first year, he's doing first year solo full-time FBA, and he's launching one product per month. So anything to watch for in that pace? Is that good? Is that bad? What, What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I mean, I think that's great. I think one product a month is awesome. I think I mean, it's hard to say whether like it's good pace or bad pace. If you have $1 million to spend, maybe that's a little bit slow. If you are kind of like working a full-time job and this is your side thing, like I think that's amazing. And so I think that's a little bit hard. I think maybe a different way of measuring is like how you're spending your time. And so if you're spending a lot of your time kind of answering support tickets still and like sourcing the products and like, doing a lot of the administrative stuff of Amazon, then and you think that you have enough capital to maybe get to 2 products a month, then maybe it's time to hire like a right-hand person or a virtual assistant or whatever to kind of offload a lot of the lower ROI task and then focus on building out your product development side. But if like right now you feel like you're really focused on product development and you can't take on more products or you can't finance more, then I think that's really great. But it's hard to know based on just a specific number of products. It's kind of a factor of how much cash and how aggressive you want to be, stuff like that.
Okay, I like that. And Rico, do you have any thoughts about the amount? I mean, I know you talked about monopolizing products. So is that something that you want to add to that?
As far as him, for him doing 1 product a month, that's actually really, really good, especially FBA.
Nice.
Like I have to, my hat's off to you, man. If you're a normal everyday guy and you're pulling off 1 product a month, like that's insane. Like most
There we
barely
go.
1 product a year, let alone 1 product a month. So if you're successful enough to keep that going, that's awesome. But just like Fernando was saying, it might be time for you to either pull in like a virtual assistant or someone that can kind of handle the day-to-day. And that's what we did. We got virtual assistants to handle the day-to-day, and we just kind of run the business. Because as your business grows, you're going to need someone to handle that day-to-day stuff. That's the most successful businesses do. The most successful, Amazon businesses, they have assistants or people that they hire on, employees, to handle things. Like Fernando at their level, they run a lot of it, but on the same token, it's like you're doing millions. So let's say you're doing millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue. Like that's hard for a lot of people to control. It takes a very special person or a team of people to be able to pull that off. And I am not that person. I just like making. I like
Same.
making.
You can totally do it.
That's my job. I make the money. Dan figures out what to do. But having a team of virtual assistants, a few people on hand to kind of oversee that would probably benefit you. Maybe just one, because you're only doing like 1 product a month. It would be nice to have someone to handle your customer service. Maybe check with suppliers. Get emails back and forth, see how things are going there. Just kind of relay information.
Brilliant.
I think you're doing great.
Awesome. So Wayne, you're doing great. You got all the seals of approval. Keep it up. All right. So we'll close it off. We got a couple more questions. Sue's got a question, but we'll close it off. We'll mention maybe Rico and Fernando. Just quickly mention where can people reach out to you. We've still got a few of those types of questions. So quickly say where we can reach out, and then I'll wrap this up.
You guys can hit me up directly on Facebook at Rico SC. All right. So Rico SC, that's for Speed Circuit for the shop. You can hit me up on Facebook personally. I answer every single message personally, guys. You can find us on Facebook at 2 Dudes Crew, the number 2, DOODZ Crew. Same thing on Instagram, 2 Dudes Crew, or you can find us on YouTube at 2 Dudes. So, same thing. It's youtube.com/C/2 Dudes, the number 2, DOODZ. And
Brilliant.
You should be able to find us there. If not, I don't know.
Easy. And Fernando.
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on Facebook at Fernando Cruz. I've got a Facebook page there. And then also, I'm one of the partners in Seller Tradecraft. And so we have a bunch of Facebook groups. And just reach out to me there.
Brilliant. And myself, I'm at azonu.net. Or you can just download this PDF, pingpongbonus.com, download the PDF. So I'm going to wrap up by just talking a little bit about the sponsors for another couple minutes, but I just want to say thank you, Rico. Thank you, Fernando. It was amazing to meet you guys properly. Hopefully, we'll chat outside of this a little bit more. It was really, really great to meet you guys. I really appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely,
Awesome.
man. Loved it. It was awesome.
Samuel says thanks. Maria says thank you. So awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, Liz, there will be a replay.
Imagine that.
Okay, so I'm going to close this off. I just want to mention a couple of things about the sponsors, just again because they've put this together. AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments have spent months trying to bring all these Amazon sellers together, and it's just been such a great success. You guys have been loving it, and you've asked so many relevant and important questions, and we're learning all about growing on Amazon. I know I've learned a lot from these guys as well, so I'm just happy to be here. This webinar is sponsored by AMZScout and Ping Pong Payments. AMZScout is our absolute favorite research tool by far, and we do teach in our program at ASN University about how to find products to sell, and we use the AMZScout tool pretty much religiously to find out data. They got things like clicking the niche button to find potential product ideas, and you can use things like the RPR, the reviews, to count and the estimated revenue, which is really accurate to find out if a product is even worth pursuing or not. They give you data on competitors and keywords and niches and trends and supplies and just so much more inside of that tool. And they've got a special discount just for you guys on this webinar. You can find there's a link to that inside of the PDF document. So download the Ultimate 2019 Amazon Marketing Game Plan, and you'll see that there are links to those offers inside of that. Okay. And Ping Pong Payments, of course, is the other sponsor of this, and they've partnered with AMZScout to bring these sellers together. Now, again, we've talked about how Amazon currency converter take 3 to 5%. Ping Pong transactions, however, start at just 1.5%, whereas other companies like World First and Payoneer take 2 to 3.5%. Now, when you're doing millions in sales, like some of the speakers here, those few percent make a difference. So if you are selling in multiple marketplaces, or if you're selling in a different country and you want to receive payments in your own currency, then this is something Ping Pong Payments will help. They have a 3-step RAD process: register, approval, and disbursement. So you can easily register and get approved for foreign bank accounts, which is usually a complicated procedure, but they make it automatic and easy. And they've got a dedicated account manager who can help you, is accessible at all times. Again, unlike other companies where you have to go through 800 numbers. They're extremely trustworthy, backed by Fidelity Investments. They've processed 8 billion in transactions for global e-commerce sellers, 8 billion with a B, yes. And they have 42,000 e-commerce merchants around the world. They have a 3 free-month trial at pingpongpayments.com/AMZ. Just for you guys, a 3-month free trial. That link is also inside of the Ultimate 2019 Game Plan, which you can get at pingpongbonus.com, or you can download it. It's one of the handouts. Fernando says thank you. Awesome. Ralph says thank you, guys. David says cheers, lads. Liz says thank you. Chandra says very cool. Awesome. So that's it for this webinar. Thank you to all of the wonderful speakers. Thank you to AMZScout and Ping Pong for putting this on. I'm so excited that you guys are happy with this, and hopefully we'll be doing many more of these in the future. And I'll close off now. Take care, Ronald. Take care, Liz, David, Suze, Rusty. See you guys soon. We'll close this off. Thank you so much for watching. This is Josh Morris, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.